Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to talk about 2020, what a year it's been, and especially regarding QuickBooks Online and the recent updates that have come its way. Stay tuned while we retrospectively look back at the year 2020 on QuickBooks Online.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me.
Hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, certified UK, and also that QuickBooks chap. Now, obviously 2020 has been a year to remember for many reasons. But one of the things that has been positive about 2020 was the amount of enhancement and updates to QuickBooks Online. And what we're going to do is we're going to look back at the last 12 months and we're going to have a look and see and remind ourselves what's been actually released and understand how useful that's been to us. Now, as we go through the reminder and look at these, remember that each one of these particular items we've already looked at in some form of detail. So don't forget to go back to the channel, leave a like and a subscribe, and have a look back through our previous content to go through all this sort of information in much more detail. With that being said, let's jump straight into it and have a look exactly what happened in 2020. Okay then, so first of all, let's go to spring product release, and let's have a look and see what happened in this particular period. Well, this was the introduction of cash flow first and foremost, and cash flow was a huge part and huge new addition to QuickBooks. And the timing couldn't have been better. The cash flow forecast was introduced to QuickBooks during the time where small business were at its most vulnerable. During the time where cash flow was so critical to how businesses were going to be able to survive during the pandemic and everything that happened regarding it. And having that crucial bit of information, that ability to look forward 90 days to see how much cash the business had, was going to be so vital for our businesses. And we really took advantage of that. We wanted to make sure that from our point of view as a channel and also as an accountancy firm, that we utilise that as much as possible. Some difficult decisions were having to be made. Do we take furlough? Do we take the bounce back loan? What other opportunities do we need to utilise? And for us to make those decisions more palatable and actually have some numbers behind it that made sense, the cash flow forecast was so important to us. Now, the cash flow forecast isn't perfect. There's definitely some room for improvement there, but it was a great first step, and it was an introduction to something that for small businesses, they're going to find really, really useful. If we look at its current form, you'll see it's giving us everything we need and explaining us what happened the last 12 months regarding our cash flow, projecting forward for us to let us know how our cash flow is going to be looked at. And all this is automated. So it's taking the information without me having to do anything additional. And what it's doing is it's looking at the transactions that happen in my bank account, and it's going to look at any transactions that I might have outstanding on QuickBooks as well. So any debtors that might be due for payment or any creditors that I might need to make pay as well. Due to this as well is you can add transactions here that have no bearing or impact on the rest of QuickBooks. So effectively it gives you a chance to have a play. And that's really powerful. That gives us an opportunity to have a look and see what taking on certain financial commitments or bringing on another member of staff or taking furlough or whatever it's going to be, we have a playground in which we can have a go and have a look at what the impact's going to be without destroying any of the other data we put in there or affecting our next VAT return or anything drastic like that. And that's so important. The cash flow forecast has been a great addition, and yes, there are things we want to see happen on it sooner rather than later, but now it is such a great tool for all practical businesses to use. They went from the cash flow forecast to talking about payments. And from a payments point of view, they were talking about how they wanted to make it really easy for people to make payments within QuickBooks. Now, we've always had the ability to have that Pay Now button within QuickBooks. It's been so powerful. But this year especially, QuickBooks has really pushed that one so that when you actually go and take on that service, you actually get a really, really good deal. And they also brought in, and this one came without much fanfare, was the opportunity to chase payments automatically. So this was the year that receipt capture was looked at in much more detail, and this was the year that it was released. And the idea of receipt capture is really straightforward. You grab your mobile phone, you take a photo of a receipt, and it then gets put into QuickBooks Online. There's various ways we can do that as well. We can forward the information, or we can grab the document and upload it directly to QuickBooks itself. But either way, it's a quick and easy way of getting information into QuickBooks. And without you having to physically go through and allocate transactions and put items against the dates and all that manner of stuff, it was extracting that information directly from the invoice itself, taking that information and putting it directly into QuickBooks. And that was a great thing. They also pushed within the spring release the ability to have this real-time bank connections. So as we're still trying to go through the transition from the old screen scraping as it was once known all the way to our new open banking also gave us the ability to have additional functionality. So as frustrating as the move has been, we've actually gained extra functionality out of it. Payroll was updated on each quarter, and you'll notice this. This one was talking about how it was really easy to integrate pensions. 2020 was also a big year for construction tax CIS. This is where we had a lot more automations coming in, and it actually enhanced on the functionality. The idea or the end goal is so that you don't need to leave QuickBooks to be able to deal with all your CIS requirements when you're using QuickBooks. And from an accountant's point of view, they started to tease the bookkeeping review. So we started to understand what this bookkeeping review was going to be, and you'll see in later ones how that was implemented going forward. Then we moved to the summer release. Summer release, we really ramped up that cash flow forecast one more time, and it was fully live. And the idea here then, it was showcasing exactly what it could do for us and make sure that it was compatible with as many bank connections as we can. And the great thing about cash flow is it's evolving as well. So the more data it gets, the more understanding it has of your bank account, the better it's going to be at predicting those cash flow forecasts going forward. From the payments point of view, the introduction of the iZettle integration was a huge boost for QuickBooks. And it really gave us an opportunity for us to fill out all of the different aspects of a small business. We had our Pay Now button on our invoices, so when we sent an invoice out, it could be paid straight away. We had our Go Cardless solution, where if we wanted to create a subscription model and we wanted to guarantee that payment and make sure that payment came in automatically, we had that. But if we had physical store, we now have the ability to integrate iZettle, and that meant that we had that wonderful connection of being able to say, right, I want to take a physical payment, but I want that information to go directly to QuickBooks. And with our iZettle integration, we were able to achieve that really easily and really seamlessly. And we did a big part on here and also on the Bofix Tax Tips channel on how iZettle and QuickBooks really do work well together. Receipt Capture got a welcome addition as well, and now it got the option to add bills to Receipt Capture, not just expenses as well. So increasing the functionality. Also, they made sure that the being able to email your information to QuickBooks was even more straightforward. And what that means is you can create yourself automation, so you can create rules within your inbox so that when a particular invoice turns up, say from your phone provider, you can set a forward rule on that so it goes directly into QuickBooks without you having interaction with it. There was this people section again, so this is their payroll section. And they've been building on the payroll little by little over the past year. Here they were talking about how the employee portal was about to come to everyone, not just the advanced version of QuickBooks. And that was a great addition. Same with the automatic tax code as well. CIS, they were talking about the new elements to CIS. And within the month-end review for the accountant side of things, we also started to talk about this customized report. And this was the basis of the community reports that we came to see and was added into QuickBooks as well. We then moved into the autumn release, and in the autumn release was the introduction of the tax return module for QuickBooks Online. Now, the tax return module was something already in QuickBooks Self-Employed, but the fact that it came to QuickBooks Online basically made it really, really appealing for customers to move from QuickBooks Self-Employed to QuickBooks Online. It also meant people who were part of the QuickBooks Online ecosystem from day one gives them an extra tool for them to utilize. And we've been utilizing this more than anything to not really worry about what happened, but more about predicting what your tax return is going to be later in the year. And that's really crucial, especially in a year like this where cash flow has been so tight and so tricky for small businesses. The ability for us to look at what your estimated tax bill is going to be is huge for small businesses. And it was really an opportunity for you as a small business to understand exactly how you were doing in terms of your tax bill position, and it just takes one less worry off your plate. So this was a great introduction and something that I'm really grateful for. there's still some things there's still some things it needs to improve on, but I do think it's something that's going to get better with time. They then pushed on payroll one more time, and they were talking again about the Nest pensions and the automatic tax code updates and the announcement that the workplace employee portal was now live. And they called it the cash flow, but they're bringing in the first introduction of tagging. Now, tagging was a huge introduction to QuickBooks Online. It gave a way for your data to have much more discoverability. And one of the key parts of the discoverability was the ability that you can tell other people when you've got maybe issues with your data. Best scenario I can think of was what our clients do, or what we ask our clients to do. When our clients are struggling, what we ask them to do is we ask them to tag that particular item to let us know that they want that to be looked at. That means it's really easy for us as accountants to go into the file, go through those transactions, and then be able to talk about those particular transactions. It makes discoverability so much easier and so much better for us to be able to get involved with. And it's a great way of looking at your data and being able to make sure that when you're dealing with a transaction, that you can basically tag the item to refer to at a later date. Again, that could be for review, or that could be for you to be able to run a particular report. Either way, the tagging solution within QuickBooks is a great addition to the way that we can utilize the data in QuickBooks. And you as a small business can get even more data out of QuickBooks and even more use out of QuickBooks. So it was a great little addition to QuickBooks Online. Then talked about how the streamline options, PayPal got a fancy little extra £100. Within the payment section, they were talking about how you could now have the extra £100 on fees, so save up to special offer with PayPal. And also they had the sales overview tab. And the sales overview tab was basically a way for new users to understand exactly what QuickBooks can do. And with all the new enhancements we had in this year, it was a perfect opportunity and perfect time for that to be brought in place so that people can understand exactly what the sales section of QuickBooks can do at a glance. And then we've also been teasing, it's not arrived just yet, the ability for QuickBooks Self-Employed to have that pay now functionality, which I know myself, a lot of users are crying out for. From the accountant's point of view, we finally got our month-end review, a feature we've been really looking forward to and utilising really well, and is a great addition to our toolkit. We got what's called the Performance Center, which effectively gives us an opportunity to be able to give data to our clients in much more useful formats. We were told that tracking mileage was going to come to more users, and tracking mileage was something that came just at the end of the last year, but it's been a feature really that's dominated this particular year. It's been great to see that mileage format or mileage solution being coming through QuickBooks and being able for us to be able to utilize that. But that's not all for 2020. In the product itself, we had some really minor changes, like the naming structure on the left-hand side, but the biggest change from our functionality point of view was our banking area. We had a big overhaul just here about, first of all, what it was called. So instead of for review and reviewed, we now have for review and categorized. But more importantly, we got more functionality down here, including a new way to tackle batch transactions. So now as soon as we tick the item, the batch transactions apply, and we can tick these and go for these as we need to. We also had the opportunity in the top right hand corner under import data, and we had far more tools to play with import data than we've ever had before. So we've had the introduction of importing journal data, importing bills, importing sales receipts, and so on. And that just gives us a lot more tools to work with and gives us an opportunity to be really efficient in the way that we deal with data in QuickBooks Online. And already we've got loads of opportunities and loads of ways to make the most of that functionality, and we've definitely been pushing that to its limits here on this channel. And there you have it, a quick run through of what we had new in 2020, and in the last video we looked at what was new and what's coming in the horizon with the winter update. 2020, as you can see, has been a great year for QuickBooks Online, and it's been a great year because of all the new functionality and also all the feedback they get from the likes of you. So do make sure that if you have any updates or any feedback related to the new additions, make sure you're telling QuickBooks. Near enough all of the new features, as soon as you go in there, have an option to give yourself a feedback in the top corner here. So utilize that. That's your best friend when it comes to letting QuickBooks know what's working and what's not working. It's been a great year for QuickBooks, and also a great year for this channel as well. So I personally would like to thank each and every one of you for being able to watch these videos and subscribing as you have been doing and sharing the love. If you haven't subscribed to this channel though, this is a great time to do it. 2021 is going to be just as good, and we're going to make sure this channel covers everything to do with QuickBooks Online and also all the other accounting solutions out there. I've got some great collabs already made up for 2021, so look out for some really exciting guests on the channel. Also, as a certified UK trainer, I don't get bored of plugging that at all, but as a certified UK trainer, I also get some insights of what's coming our way. And I know for a fact you're going to absolutely love the next new feature that's brought in. Now, I can't tell you too much about it now, NDAs and everything else that comes with it, but I can promise you that as soon as I'm allowed to tell you, I will be making a feature video exactly on this new exciting project. My name's been Aaron Patrick. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all that jazz. I hope you have a great Christmas, great New Year and everything else in between. My name's Aaron Patrick. It's been a pleasure to do this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello and thank you for watching that video. What you may not know is this channel that you've watched this video from is part of a wider group. That wider group is called AppleCore Production, and the 3 channels that we have involved are as follows: Aaron Patrick the QuickBooks Chat, Boffick's Tax Tip. Finally, we have AppleCore Live and Geeky. All the links and everything are down below in the description, but it really means a lot to us if you can go and give a like to the other channels as well.